Claire Dawson walked into the local café with a soaked jacket and tired eyes, shaking rain from her hair like she had run from something more than the storm. She ordered tea instead of coffee, apologized to the cashier for no reason, and sat alone by the window. Ethan noticed her because she smiled at the rain instead of complaining about it. Their first conversation was simple, almost forgettable. He offered her a napkin. She said thank you. That should have been the end. But somehow it wasn't. They started seeing each other at the cafe, same days, same time. Short conversations turned into shared laughter. Shared laughter turned into walks after the rain. Ethan learned Claire was a freelance writer who had moved from Chicago to escape a life that no longer felt like hers. Claire learned Ethan had lost his mother young and built walls instead of dreams. Their love didn't rush. It didn't explode. It grew slow, steady, patient. They talked about ordinary things. Favorite childhood memories. Fear of failure. Regrets they never said out loud. Love didn't arrive like a storm, it arrived like sunrise. But simple love doesn't mean easy love. 6 months later, Claire received an email that shook her calm world. A publishing company in New York wanted her. Full-time, stable, everything she once dreamed of. The city she had escaped was calling her back. When she told Ethan, he smiled. But it was the kind of smile that breaks when no one is watching. "I'm proud of you," he said. She nodded, but her eyes filled with tears. They tried to pretend distance wouldn't change anything. Late-night calls replaced shared dinners. Messages replaced touch. Time zones replaced comfort. Slowly, the silences grew longer. Ethan never asked her to stay. He believed love shouldn't cage someone's dreams. Claire never asked him to come. She believed love shouldn't demand sacrifice. And that's how love sometimes slips through fingers, not with anger but with understanding. 1 year passed. Ethan focused on work, building houses for other people while his own heart remained unfinished. Claire succeeded in New York, articles published, name recognized, but her happiness felt incomplete. Every success tasted hollow without someone to share it with. One winter evening, Claire returned to Portland for the holidays. The cafe was still there. So was Ethan. He looked older, calmer, still kind. They talked like no time had passed, and like too much time had passed. "I thought leaving was right," Claire whispered. "It was," Ethan replied. "But that doesn't mean it didn't hurt." Silence sat between them. Not awkward, just honest. That night, Claire realized something life-changing. She had chased success thinking it would make her whole. But the simplest love she left behind had been the part she couldn't replace. Love didn't ask her to choose between dreams. It asked her to choose what mattered most. 3 months later, Claire moved back. Not because she failed, but because she finally understood success without love is empty. Ethan didn't celebrate loudly. He simply opened the door and said, "Welcome home." They didn't promise forever in dramatic words. They promised effort, patience, growth. Years later, they stood on the porch of a small house Ethan built with his own hands. Claire held a book with her name on the cover. Ethan held her hand. Their love remained simple. And that's why it lasted. Because real love doesn't shout, it stays. It doesn't demand, it supports. It doesn't rush, it waits.